Multiverse of Madness trailer has introduced us to a bunch of different questions, theories and speculations, specifically in regards to the future of the MCU as we know it. Obviously, one of the major focus upon it is going to be the X-Men and the Fantastic Four moving forward, but let's just take a step back and think, what exactly are we seeing here? In a very typical Marvel fashion, this trailer is edited. This is heavily edited. It has to be heavily edited. This has kind of become a norm for MCU that we know it so far. This has happened a lot, and probably some of the major examples are obviously in regards to Infinity War, where we saw Hulk in the trailer but it was never actually the case, and recently the biggest one being Spider-Man No Way Home, wherein in the trailer we got this famous shot which only focused on one Spider-Man, but now we know that in the actual movie we got Andrew Garfield and even Tobey Maguire along with Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man. So keeping all of these things in mind, I just want to ask you all the question, what exactly is hidden here, or rather what exactly is MCU trying to hide here? Because so far in the trailer we have seen so much. Like literally, if this was not an MCU movie, this was say a movie from Legendary Cinema or anyone else, I would have said that okay, the trailer has literally shown every single thing which is going to happen in the movie. We got these Ultron bots, which is basically a confirmation for an alternate version of the Iron Man, possibly Tom Cruise. Then we have this character who is most likely going to be a version of Captain Marvel, maybe Monica Rambeau. Again, not confirmed, but it's a speculation because we are seeing this character right here. We are seeing the two different versions of Wanda Maximoff or the Scarlet Witch. Again, a very important plot point which is going to be shaping the future of the MCU that we know it. Then there is Defender Strange, Strange Supreme, the zombie version of Doctor Strange, and of course a regular Doctor Strange. Then there are also the rumors of Tobey Maguire actually appearing in this movie at some point in time. But beyond all of these things, what exactly is going on here? I mean, sure, Professor X, we got the voice of Professor X who is returning here, so X-Men is sort of confirmed. But beyond all of these things, what exactly are these trailers hiding? Because let's be real about it, MCU or Marvel definitely is hiding something in this trailer. There's most likely going to be some scenes here in this trailer which is going to be edited in the actual movie. So hello and welcome to WhyZ, and in this quick video we'll try to decide for ourselves what exactly Marvel might be hiding behind the shadows here, specifically for this incredible trailer of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. But before that, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to our channel since I do weekly anime and manga related content along with a bunch of other stuff. With that being said, let's just jump into it. So here, as we can see in this particular trailer, Mordo is obviously giving Doctor Strange a lecture about how he should not play with the multiverse and why now he has to pay a price for what exactly he has done. And that all leads us to the Illuminati. Now, for those of you who are not aware of the Illuminati in the Marvel continuity, in the Marvel comics, this is sort of like a secret high-profile group of a couple of high-profile members of the Marvel continuity who basically meet around the shadows, meet behind the shadows, and take some very important decisions for the future of the series or for the future of their world. And this roster typically changes a bit in the comics, but traditionally it always contains a version of Iron Man, a version of Doctor Strange, a version of Namor, and a couple of other characters basically, including Professor X, Black Bolt, and even Black Panther. So keeping all of these things at mind, it's 100% certain that our version of Doctor Strange is going to be taken towards the Illuminati of the multiverse, because it seems like this version of the Illuminati, it doesn't seem like it just controls one universe, rather it feels like it takes a hold or it controls the entire multiverse as we know it. And now, because of the deeds of Doctor Strange, he has to pay the price for what exactly he did at the ending of Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, keeping all of these things at mind, I want to arrive at my point, which is the Illuminati in itself. Now, like I said before, the Illuminati generally consists of a couple of consistent characters, and one of those characters is Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. Now, this has been a speculation for a very long time that John Krasinski is probably going to play a version of Mr. Fantastic in the future of the MCU, so that's a given. That is something which everyone is talking about or thinking about, that okay, maybe this version of the Mr. Fantastic is going to be played by John, and he's the one who is maybe, just maybe, appearing on the pedestal for the Illuminati. But what if Marvel is purposely trying to mislead us here? I mean, I am 100% certain that Mr. Fantastic is going to be introduced in the future of MCU as we know it. He is part of one of the most original families of MCU, or original families of Marvel, in the form of the Fantastic Four, and they have to be introduced. But what if the MCU tries and goes a more Spider-Man route for this particular family? Because for Spider-Man, the MCU took a very different approach, a very different route, because so far we had already seen 2 different iterations of Spider-Man with the origin story, and basically everyone is aware of Spider-Man's origin story, about how he was bitten by the spider and how Uncle Ben died giving him the speech about responsibility. But the MCU totally changed that, or rather they chose to omit it, and basically they went a different route. So my assumption based on all of these things here is that what if the MCU tries to go the route of the Ultimate Comics here and maybe eventually introduce Reed Richards' version from the 1610 universe in the form of the Maker, and moving forward in the MCU, the Maker becomes one of the major villains for some potential future storyline moving forward to the Secret Wars as well, because we know that eventually the Secret Wars is going to be one of the major incidents, and it's going to be a very important deal. So what if they are planting the seeds for it here from this particular movie? So my basic assumption here would be that okay, John Krasinski is going to be the prime or the main version of Reed Richards in the form of Mr. Fantastic, but what if they introduce the Maker in the form of the Ultimate Universe? And by the Ultimate Universe, I obviously mean Ian Griffith, who played the role of Mr. Fantastic from the 2005 Fantastic Four movie. What if this is the version of the Reed Richards who is sitting on the throne of the Illuminati here in this particular movie? He is an experienced Reed Richards who has gone through a lot, who has been through a lot, and maybe he has also seen the Ultimatum wave. Obviously, they will have the 2 Fantastic Four movies at their backing as well, so they can sort of change the story a little bit here from the comics, because in the Ultimate Comics, this version of Reed Richards was rejected by Sue Storm after everything which happened with Magneto. So here in this movie version, they could say that later on down the road, something happened which triggered the downfall of this Reed Richards, which the other characters are not aware right now, and secretly along the plot of this movie and the next movie, this character, that is Reed Richards, is going to transform into the Maker, and therefore he is going to become one of the major villains for the upcoming storyline of Secret Wars. This will also tie in very well with Professor X as well, and in fact this version of Reed Richards might secretly go on to become one of the major villains for this movie as well, because so far we are pretty much certain that Wanda is going to be one of the major villains for this movie. So what if in the end she is actually being manipulated by sort of this version of Reed Richards, because at the end of the day he is extremely clever. And another potential storyline which could be explored here would be Absolute Carnage as well, wherein in a comic event he is absorbed, or rather he absorbs Carnage. So there's a lot of possibilities for this character, and I do believe that Marvel at the end of the day is hiding something. Now exactly what is that, we are not aware of it, but my assumption or my presumption here would be that Marvel most likely is going to work upon a version of the Maker instead of just going and doing a basic Fantastic Four storyline. We have already seen 2 different iterations of the Fantastic Four, so another 3rd version of Fantastic Four under the Marvel lineup with its full-on origin story would be a little on the nose for the viewers. So what if they directly go and adapt the Maker storyline, and then eventually down the road have a fight between the Maker and the prime version of Mr. Fantastic? That would be, every pun intended, more fantastic in my opinion. So these are some of my thoughts for the upcoming Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness movie trailer. What do you guys think about all of these things? What do you think Marvel is hiding in this trailer? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. So that's it for today guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more. Also, please join the channel membership for some very cool perks and features. Join the Discord server for more. This is WhyZ. See you all on the next one.